Hello. I am going to be doing something a little bit different. Maybe this is like a bake with me sort of thing. I am I'm really hot. We've had like a 5-day heat wave. I have behind me our kitchen door is open. I got some fans running in the other room, um, keeping the house as cool as possible. It's going to get down to 14 degrees at 6 a.m., I think. Otherwise, it's staying above 26 for most of the day. So we call this a heat wave. Last night, the kids and my husband slept in the basement. Tonight, we're trying upstairs. Um, yes, and that's it too. This is it's 9. It's currently 9:49, and I'm finally getting started on this. Welcome to my life of procrastination and parenthood and heat. Baking in the summer is always a late night sort of thing, or unless we had earlier this summer we had beautiful rainy days, a beautiful rainy July, and so I could bake a little bit earlier on in the day, which was kind of nice. But it's beginning to get to be fall, and usually in the fall, okay, it's the end of the summer, it's not fall, and we get cooler nights, but not this week. I have a bunch of people coming over. It is my dad's birthday, and my son's birthday was last weekend. Yes, they are a week apart, so often I try to organize a family party on my dad's birthday so that everyone can come and have cake and the cousins can see each other and we can all catch up. It's a nice little treat right before school starts. So I thought about learning how to make an ice cream cake, and that didn't go well. I then thought about making a cake in the heat, and I decided that that was ridiculous. And then last weekend for his birthday, my son wanted to have our chocolate brownie waffles, and I thought that that was a great idea because they last all week. And so when I had one today, and I was like, oh, well, why don't I just make these chocolate brownie waffles and put icing on them and call it a cake? So I'm going to try doing that. Yeah, follow along for more excitement in that regards. Just in this video, I'm probably going to do a little bit of a pause, and so I don't have to do as much editing, and then this gets out rather than me procrastinating for 2 weeks, and then then you'd be like, August, it's not August. Anyways, I got everything set up. My baking area, got the waffle maker, the ingredients, and of course we got the screen up there. Now, in case I haven't mentioned it, I'm vegan, and so tonight's recipe comes from Veganomicon, the Ultimate Vegan Cookbook, by Isa Chandra Moskowitz and Terry Hope Romero. I also have just hanging out over here their Vegan Cupcakes Take Over the World cookbook, which I used last week to make vanilla cake. My chocolate cake recipe is just perfect, so I do that then. And then this is the cake we served after our wedding. We had a little brunch. It's the chocolate chip brownie waffles. And I'm going to make just a few alterations in it. Things like, no, not putting in nuts. And then also, it's like, oh, sift everything and then mix the wet ingredients differently. This is like my greatest tip for one bowl baking, is when it says stuff like that to pour the wet ingredients into. I just start with the wet ingredients and then I sift everything on top. And through the sifting, like, I'll measure it in little chunks so that it works out well that way. Okay, and so I've got that. So then I only have to dirty my one big green bowl, which I had to take out of the dishwasher. This thing gets used very often. And all these other no name and other Canadian brands. All right, you're gonna have to pardon being incredibly messy microwave. It's been on my list to do. So whenever I get yogurt that is 30% off, vegan yogurt is expensive. A lot of like vegan dairy-free options are way more expensive. And I'm not going to rant about that right now. But anyways, I take it. It's usually because it's going to expire right away. This one is even like, oh, Riviera. I'm a big fan of Riviera. Silk does okay, but Riviera was the first one to come up with the vegan ones, the coconut ones. Astro. Oh my gosh. I wish that Astro still made their vegan ones, because that was like 10, 15 years ago that they made them, and I loved them. Like, they were chalky, but they were thick, and I thought they were great. Anyway, so when they're 30% off, I freeze them, and then when I come to a recipe that needs yogurt, such as this, just ignore that my dog communicating with me that he needs to be fed. He's a great little communicator, even without the buttons. Anyways, we when it's at a discount, I freeze it in the freezer, and then now, like tonight, I've microwaved it a little bit. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, and then I'll mix it all up. And it's getting a little bit hot on the bottom, which is a concern, but if I were to eat this after freezing it and heating it, it probably wouldn't be that great. But for the baking aspect of it, really, you're just looking for the extra creamy richness of the yogurt, and that, like, so it doesn't have to be, quite like yogurt, but it's like heavy cream. Baking is fun, just having different little alterations into all of them. I've never cooked wealthy, so I make cheap shortcuts whenever I can. The little shortcut of, don't only use the one bowl, so you don't have to wash as many bowls, whether through the dishwasher or by hand, because did that for 6 years. Actually more than that, because it was in university too that I didn't have a bowl, a dishwasher. I had bowls. I am a baker. I've always had bowls in my house, and just making cleanup a little bit easier. This video, I think, is getting a little bit long, so I am going to leave this as a teaser that those are some of my tips, and then I will let you know how it goes. I might do a little bit of recording as I put it together. We'll see how that goes. If I remember, if I have time and the patience. I need to feed the dog. Anyways, I hope that maybe in this little version of me talking at you, you learned something, some tips, anything like that, or just something about me, because I'm kind of cool. Thank you for listening, because you know how I like to talk a lot, and I hope that you can listen again another day. Thanks.